Hi, I'm Mike, and I still want a podcast studio. Today is day 9. Actually, I do not lie. So today is day 10. Technically, I was so exhausted last night that I figured I'd do this one first thing in the morning. And of course, as luck would have it, the video from day 8 didn't actually finish uploading. So we're gonna have a day 8 and day 9. And if I get the ceiling done today, after I get done working, then I'll have day 10 loaded today too. And hope we get back on track and pay more attention to that. Everything's a learning as I go. Yesterday was primarily just about working in a new job. I went back to that restaurant that I used to own. It was a disaster. I know this podcast is about, or this diary is about building the podcast studio, but one of the three major podcasts that I want to start is a restaurant podcast. I do consulting. This is kind of a consulting job, but we're old friends, and I need to make money because I put 20 grand into this studio already, and I'd like to return some of that, and keeps me busy, that sort of thing. So here I am. Yesterday I walked back into a restaurant that I used to own a few years after COVID, and I gotta tell you, I mean, what a disaster. And I definitely I feel for anybody that tried to manage a restaurant. I dealt with COVID and sold mine at the end. But the residuals from that are just mind-boggling. I'm just gonna fix the front of the house in this place. Of course, we'll work with the kitchen, but the idea is that the kitchen's actually doing pretty. The food was really good yesterday. Looked great, better than it's been when I've been there. And so I'm happy about that. But the front of the house, the servers especially, service it's such a art form. And you got to understand, all servers are greedy. They have to be. That if you're not greedy, then go get an hourly job at some retail establishment. I'm not dissing those. I'm just saying that servers make, heck, when I was 20, I was making almost 40,000 a year, working 6 hours a night, 5 nights a week in fine dining. There was nobody my age that could make that kind of money. Of course, I blew it because serving also, and bartending comes along with drinking and partying and that kind of thing. And it's easy to fall in the trap where you just blow all your money, and then when it's time to pay the rent, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to work really hard. That's when the servers come in and they beg for every shift for 3 days, totally disregarding the days that they took off, and act like I should be able to give them shifts, and it doesn't work. But greed is a definite component. But I've always wanted servers that had knowledge, and skill, and then greed. Greed, knowledge, and skill put together, tenacity. Of course, showing up on time and proper uniform, that sort of stuff is important too and factors in. But after the pandemic, this restaurant has not been managed well at all. And it basically has no good staff that I've seen so far. They're trainable, and I intend to do so, but that's always hard. If they're lazy, untrained, and still greedy, it's very difficult for people. They have cognitive dissonance. It doesn't matter. I can tell them that that when I owned that building, I didn't own the building, we leased it. When my restaurant was called Hop House, and we did about 3.75 million a year, 300 seats. I had a staff of 80 at our biggest. And that was all right before COVID. These guys are doing like maybe 1.4, a paltry staff, handful of servers, untrained. It's a nightmare. And what I need to make them understand and is that I've lost a house, a home. I've lost $2.25 million on my first restaurant. I've been successful after. I learned I always call it my $2.25 million education. Let's hope that I have the same thing with the podcast equipment and the studio. Let's hope not, I should say. Let's hope that I can take those lessons and push them into this. I don't even know if it's really a business. It's going to end up being my, clubhouse, I suppose, for a while. But that's okay. I kind of want that. But it'll be a challenge, and it took up a lot of my day. But I did go up to the studio yesterday. I finished taping, and a few pieces left, and pull the lights somewhat down, and I started on the ceiling. I'm hoping to finish it tonight after I get done, depending on the time frames. I I'm really back and forth on what software to edit or for my recording and editing. What software I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Riverside and Buzzsprout. I'm gonna do the tests. I already have the free version on both. I haven't hooked the equipment up to Riverside yet. I hear it's a little clunky to use, um, and I think that we could. Sorry, I keep getting text messages. It's a little clunky to use, but I think I'll get it. And I definitely want to use Buzzsprout. They seem to be the leader in that. The goal here is that I have the studio finished completely. The walls, the ceiling, the lighting, the everything that I need to do within the studio, construction wise, is completed by the first week of May. Carpets laid, everything's clean, it's ready to go. And by then, I'll have the wood in the stain factory I've got set up in the garage to where I can stain all the wood and put everything together. Yeah, I'm looking for that to be first week of May to get that done. What else do I want to talk about? No, that's about it. I think that I'm going to get a lot of these first couple of weeks at the restaurant. It's going to take all the headspace I have. Now I'm being paid hourly, but I'm sure I'll do half the work at home unpaid because that's how you get it done. That's how you care. That's about it. Still got to work on my especially as I kind of go through it. I didn't really script this. It's the next day. I will try to do day 10 tonight. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning, but I'm going to make sure that this one is uploaded right now. You know what? Because I'm the dog father. And that's it. Have a great day. Thank you.